We had started here in Huntsville to do monthly community dances that were really based in square dancing or contra dancing, traditional Appalachian kind of folk dances. We were doing these monthly in a local brewery, actually. And the thought that we had was, how do we kind of broaden this? Is there an opportunity here to share other dance forms, other music forms, other artistic forms, other voices, invite them to the community? And by doing that, it's helpful to see who is also in our community that maybe we haven't met, so that it's not just about presenting a one-off show, but to actually have a kind of more of an ongoing dialogue. And so we connected with KUNÉ. We did 3 sessions in the spring of 2025. And at each session, members of KUNÉ would come up to Huntsville. They'd spend the morning working with local musicians to teach their music. Then we'd have some lunch together. And then in the afternoon, we'd invite anybody from the community who wanted to come to dance. And what we do is a mixture of the Appalachian or contra dancing, as well as the dancing that KUNÉ was bringing. And the idea being that let's dance each other's dances, let's play each other's music. And all of that led up then to a performance that we had as part of our summertime festival. We've had a big dance year this year, so we also had an ongoing series called Dancing on the Docks. We'd have a teacher who would teach a different dance form on the Huntsville town docks. 4 of the musicians from KUNÉ came up, and we had a night, had a forró night, which is a Brazilian dance form. So it was a great surprise to know, oh yeah, there's some Brazilian folks here. And that was the night before their performance at the Algonquin Theatre, which is the 408-seat theater. It was a nice kind of cross-sharing. The musicians from KUNÉ were able to, meet the community members. It's not just like, today we're going to have KUNÉ and they're going to come and show some salsa music or whatever, but that it's also like, who from this community, what can we share with them? And what can they share with us? It is actually a challenging thing to grapple with, to say that everybody's welcome, right? And to truly say that. I think maybe that leads me to sort of look and go, who's not in the room? Or are there opportunities to take this outside of the walls of a theater? And how do we bridge those sort of connections in a way that's not forced? That requires time. Sometimes it's just about being in the room together. And it's a slow burn. One of the things that came out for me in this, we did all this work, we had a lot of fun dancing, but we didn't sell a whole lot of tickets. It was not maybe seen as a success, but then I started to sort of unpack that, like that's a very transactional way of thinking. There's a different way to measure it, I think. If, we had 20, 30 people that may not have come before, it's not a huge number, but it's something, and it does move the needle, and it does mean something. But how do you sort of quantify this? It's not about selling tickets. It can't be. It's got to be about something else. I felt like I got to have a genuine connection. We got to kind of create something together in terms of these community dances, talking about, how do we do this? How do we basically put on the show? So there was more of a genuine sharing than the typical kind of presenting model. Sometimes you don't even really talk to the artist at all. It can be very cold. And this was very warm. This was a really positive experience. One of the things that I actually really like doing as a presenter is the actual green room food. I will do the green room food because that's the time where I actually get to talk to the artists. Food is, I think, a really important way that people come together. And that was important when we were doing this as well, as that we had lunch together. The dancers would come early and have lunch with the musicians. And I think that was just as important as the actual dance portion, just as important as, the concert. When we were all dancing together, I think that was probably one of the most impactful parts of this. Felt like we were all just in the moment there. One of the things, if I was going back to do it, I would actually want to have more time. And I'd love to find a way that we can, make it so that they could stay another day or another 2 days. And even myself as a presenter, I struggled a little bit too in terms of dedicating that time? Sometimes you're thinking as a presenter, all the other things that you have to do. How do you really be in the moment?